to Jake Jackets. Gear up to fire the cannon and hit the ice with your host, Jay Ashdown and Jake Gehringer.
I got my notes ready and everything. Decided not to wear my gear today. Also, unfortunately,
no gear.
Yeah, well, so since we're doing the whole metro, I got everything else behind me. I mean, it's hard to miss all this shit, right?
That's totally fair, my dude. Yeah.
Go scroll out.
No, but yeah, I'm going all out for sure. Cause I mean, like, it's just you and me. No Jay today, everybody. So it's just gonna be me and Lance of our friends at Brew Jackets. I'm ready for the Metro preview.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it. That's awesome.
Ready with a little Oktoberfest.
Nice. It is October, huh? I guess Oktoberfest is actually the end of September usually, isn't it? I think that's the official one.
I don't know when they normally do it, man. Like
I think that is. Well, don't really matter. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's October here too. So
hell yeah.
What a more fitting choice, right?
The only brew I have right now is some coffee.
That's totally fair. That's totally fair. I'm probably going to be going through a little afternoon slump later and might need a refresher myself.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we count all brews. Tea, coffee, all brews.
That's totally fair. I appreciate the honesty because I was just like, looking at your logo and stuff. I just think like, it's all just different alcohol in terms of brews.
Well, we have actually we have one guy on the show who's not of legal drinking age. He doesn't drink, and then
that's fair.
Kevin chooses not to drink either, and I just don't drink that much. I have severe food allergies, and I can't even drink regular beer. So
oh man, that's
awkward.
That's a shame.
It's
kind of it's like that's some wild branding for.
Well, so the guys who helped us start the show do Bangles and Brews.
They're part of that. Okay. I just, like I've been doing this off the top of the cuff with the others, like how you guys run your shows and give you guys props and like get a little insight into how everybody does it.
Yeah. That's kind of how we got our start. Was Kevin really wanted to start a podcast, and he got the Bangles and Brews guys to help him out do it. And then they had me on as a guest one day, and then I was asked to if I wanted to come on as like a permanent staple, and then over time I am pretty much the guy behind the scenes. I'm also in front of the scenes too, but realistically, yeah, we got some new people on here recently as well too, some awesome additions with Owen and Hartsy and all them. They've really been coming through with some nice input. Because the Bengals and Brews guys, they ended up being so busy. I mean, with how the Bengals were doing and everything.
Don't remind me. Don't remind me.
Yeah, well, Browns fan. So, but yeah, so like, they just got so busy with what they're doing. They just had to kind of just do that. I mean, that's totally understandable. Loved working with them, but love seeing them do big things too.
So now you're the big showrunner with Brew Jackets. I like that. Just a couple of showrunners going at it.
Yeah, dude, it's we're coming up. We actually did one full year a few weeks ago, but this will be
congrats,
our second season. Pretty excited.
We're going into our third and our first full one with the network, so we're excited about doing all the stuff with the network now.
Excellent.
Yeah, here we are. We're doing the Metro, like we did the last couple. I just kind of want to go through, 1 to 8, and then we'll break down everybody.
Right.
Probably in pairs. I don't know. Be my guest. Start me off.
You want some predictions? You want me to do 1 through 8? You want me to say exactly who I think it's going to be?
Go for it.
All right. I hate to say it. I personally think, although the Rangers have added some really nice pieces in the off season. I don't know that they can get first again like they did, a few years ago. I really think it's so hard to say between the Devils and the Canes. I mean, they
Yeah.
both had 52 wins last year. Um, it's just hard to say. Personally, I really think that Devils are kind of on their way in, and Canes are kind of like still where they're at. So it's very possible that the momentum that the Devils have been getting throughout this last year may
Right.
break them out on top. Not that the Rangers don't have a chance especially with Shesterkin in goal, but I'm predicting, either Carolina or Jersey to be on top this year. And I'm being a really good battle
Leaning
again
more
there
towards
too.
Jersey though, right?
I am actually, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Devils 1, Canes 2.
Canes 2, Rangers 3.
Okay.
Then after that, I gotta pick the Islanders. I mean, they're a solid team.
It's a toss up. The Metro's weird because it's very top heavy, but at the same time, like with teams getting older, it's very wishy washy in parts.
Right. So yeah, Islanders, coming in fourth. Now here's where it starts getting weird. Yeah, right. So well, first of all, I'm gonna say Flyers in last place.
Okay.
So that takes care of one of them. So now we have Pittsburgh, Washington, and the Blue Jackets. Okay, so it's really hard to predict this Blue Jackets team this year, in my opinion.
We'll break them down when we get to them.
Right. And so, realistically speaking, Pittsburgh, they added Erik Karlsson, Riley Smith, but is that enough with this aging core of people? I don't think so. Same with the Caps. I mean, they're just, while they have some great and still young great players, their core is aging out. And both of them broke their streaks last year. Penguins with their 16-year streak, and the Caps with their 8-year streak. So I see them breaking those again. And I think the Blue Jackets could finish as high as 5th.
Okay.
I really do. It's possible.
Okay.
But if they don't, I think it's 6th. And I think that Washington would be 7th then. I would see Pittsburgh being 5th.
So toss up between Pitt and Columbus for 5 and 6, and Washington 7, Philly 8. All right. Fair enough. Yeah, mine. I just jotted these down earlier. Really, just like trying to think for this. I think we're pretty similar boat with this. I've got Jersey 1. Shout out to our buddy Neil, who's doing a lot of fun stuff. I'm very excited for his new show that he's got coming up. Yeah. By the way, Neil Villapiano, buddy at Devil State of Mind, is doing like an NHL weekly live stream soon. When the season starts, he's going to be doing that. So shout out to Neil. Jersey 1, Canes 2, Rangers 3, Penguins 4. I think with their additions, I think they can actually jump back into the race. Isles 5, Columbus 6. I think that's fair. Washington 7, Flyers 8.
Yeah, very similar. Yeah, I mean, it's such a toss up in certain positions there too. Especially when it comes to 4th and 5th place. I think those are the interesting ones. I think the Islanders didn't make many changes though that I'm aware of.
Well, that's Lou.
Yeah,
that's Lou.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll see.
Where do you want to do you want to start with our guys? And just like, since this is a Blue Jacket show, like, do you want to start there, or do you want to do what we've been doing and like go bottom to top?
Yeah, I'm down to go bottom to top.
Bottom to top. All right.
Yeah.
Philly's in a rebuild.
Yes.
Philly's absolutely in a rebuild. We're all for sure on that. Danny Briere is actually, like, he's come out and said that he wants to try to be competitive, which, I mean, say what you got to say, Daniel.
Yeah.
But like, Briere actually did make some nice moves for what it's worth, getting out from the JVR contract. Carter Hart, like their goaltending is still weird to me because
Yeah.
it's Hart and net, but for how long? And then who's the backup? Like, is it Airson? Is it? They've got a lot of guys that we really don't know. Like Peterson's on waivers ever since he got traded there from the Kings.
Yeah. I mean, I thought Sandstrom was looking pretty decent though.
Mm-hmm.
Here in the preseason. So they do at least possibly have some depth, between Cal Peterson and Carter Hart. I think they might be slightly, just to compare it real quick to the Blue Jackets, I think they might be slightly less in a odd position as we are here in the Blue Jackets, just currently speaking, just as an opinion. But yeah, they got Cam Atkinson fully healthy and good to go. Huge Cam Atkinson fan, of course. How could you not
Our
be
buddy Cam is he's back and he's better than ever. He was doing some fun stuff with our friends in the summer league for battery hockey. That was cool.
That was pretty cool.
Actually, just got a text from Jay. Okay, give me a second. So yeah, Cam being healthy is going to be a big boost. Torts being Torts, I think Torts is going to get a lot out of this team, like more than he should, as he does, because he's John Tortorella.
Yeah, I think he fits really good in the whole Philadelphia environment too. I just don't see him taking shit. Like just from like even in other sports too. I mean, you've probably seen after like the Eagles have won. They're greasing up the light poles and stuff downtown because they tend to go. The fans out there tend to go a little bit nuts. Yeah, I just don't see them being able to do much this year. They do.
Hey, sorry, quick pause because Lance went poof. So
Adios.
Philly, going back into Philly.
Man, I was talking the whole time too. All of a sudden, it disconnected me.
I know it's like that happens. That's totally fair.
Oh well.
But yeah, Cammy back is big for Philly in terms of their forwards, and Couturier too. This is really, really big to have Coots back.
You hear me say that? Because I always have a problem pronouncing his name. Couturier. Yeah.
Oh no, it's fine.
Did you not hear me say it? I don't know. I don't know how far it was before I froze. I mentioned they have some good players. Like they're like none of these players are bad. It's just as a team, it's not working.
It's not the most cohesive thing, right? And it's very like plus, I don't know, some of their cap that like it's none of this is Danny Briere's fault. Let's be frank. It's Fletcher's fault. Fletcher set him up for this. I do like a lot of their individual forwards. Like I like Travis Konechny, Scott Lawton's fine. Owen Tippett had a nice breakout year for them last year, and Morgan Frost too. Yeah. Excited to see what Forrester does. It's going to be great to have a full year of Cam and Couturier back, especially because Couturier, missed a whole season and a lot of the chunk of the year before that. And before that, he was full Selke caliber, like finalist caliber for a Selke, right?
Yeah.
So that's going to be great to get a two-way game back for their center position. Who knows if a guy like Bobby Brink comes in from the system. They still got guys like Noah Cates, a lot of good young guys. Not a fan of the Delorier contract still. And I do like my guy, Joel Farabee. Farabee's a great player. Their defense, Ryan Ellis, big question to ever play again, which is rough for a guy like him.
He's not even on cap friendly.
Is he not?
No, he's not part of the roster on cap friendly right here.
Ugh.
I don't believe so.
They got Helgi Grans in that Peterson deal, right? He's probably going to be a Lehigh Valley kid. Still got Risto, ugly contract.
Sanheim too.
Sanheim, who knows if they actually move on from Sanheim during the deadline or around then.
8 years, 6.25.
Oh no, wait, yeah, they're the one they're gonna build with. I'm thinking of somebody else,
Yikes,
Sonic.
though. I mean, that great player, just he's like 8-year contracts or kind
Oh
of
no, wait, I was
wild.
thinking of they wanted to move his for Krug, right? And then Krug didn't allow that.
Yeah.
But I do like Travis Sanheim. He's a great player. They brought in Mark Stahl to fill a third pair role. Okay. Sealer, I like. Cam York is going to be great. Really young player that I really like. And then, oh yeah, BG product, Shawnee Walker that they got in the Kings deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love me some Sean Walker. It's going to be fun to see him in the division more. I just hope that he doesn't do well against us.
Yeah, right. Well, it's kind of same with Atkinson. Like, I love the dude. I hope he does amazing this year. But yeah, it's just not against us. Knock on wood, because
right. Yeah, exactly. That's how
I
it is.
do want to
with
beat
all
this
these guys,
team.
right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, I still like Torch too. I have nothing against him. He's the most winningest coach we've had.
And
Just
I mean,
don't want to lose to him.
it's definitely like we talked, Jay and I talked about when we had the whole fiasco go down, the differences between a guy like Torts and a guy like Babs, right? Torts squeezes blood from a stone on the ice, but he's a great guy off of it, all things considered, right?
He understands limits.
He understands limits. He understands his players as people. And he's going to get the best out of this Philly team that we know that he can.
Yeah.
And yet that's still going to be an 8th place in the division finish. Unfortunately. I don't know, because it's fun when Philly's good, right? I think it's fun when Philly's good. Like, it's
it's healthy. It's healthy for the division.
Yes. And the same can be said for the Washington Capitals. Ovi and his band of merry men. Let's go.
Oh my god. Yeah. So
they're old.
What's the average age for the Capitals? I have no clue right now.
Well, Pittsburgh's surprisingly older, but still, like,
yeah. So average age for the forwards is 30 years old. Average age for the defense is 28. Goalkeepers 33 and 29. Wow. Ouch. Pacioretty's still out on IR right now.
So Patches, yeah, he was one of their bigger acquisitions.
Yeah.
And they don't really like. It's weird because, like, for being our division, a lot of people stayed quiet, except for maybe Pittsburgh. And then obviously we made like 4 or 5 different moves that hopefully bump us up. But we'll see. I like some of their forwards. It's just they're so old.
Yeah. It's just like they're amazing. So like Alex Ovechkin is one of the greatest of all times. But when you're 38 years old, there's just things that aren't quite the same as when you were 28 or 20.
But he's still going to put up at least 40. We know this, right? Like
I'll guarantee that.
Like, we know that he's chasing the record, and that's one of the bigger stories with this Caps team is Ovi chasing the record. The Gretzky record.
They got Wilson healthy again too. He was out with injury for a lot of last year, I believe.
A healthy Tom Wilson and a healthy Backy is going to be really important for those forwards.
Mm-hmm.
If Nick Backstrom can stay put and stick with being Ovi's right-hand man, they're going to be fine. Same with Kuzi, same with Evgeny Kuznetsov, because I know there was a lot of the rumors surrounding him leaving. Right?
Yeah.
But they found really nice pieces to stick around like surrounding that with Old Flame of ours, Sonny Milano.
I know, right? I was watching the game last night, and or like I've been keeping up with him a bit in preseason. He's been doing great.
I mean, like
He
it's the
fits into
same.
that team well.
It's the same thing with Carlson going to Vegas, right? Or like Duke going to Ottawa first, and then now he's all the way in San Jose after being in Florida for a while. Some players just didn't mix with Torts when he was here.
Yeah.
And then they go elsewhere and they're fine.
And they flourish.
Dylan Strome, love this kid. Glad he's got a chance there. It's funny because like I'm trying to mention some of the kids more, but with Peter Laviolette as their coach now, I don't know if we're going to see a lot of these kids like, like a Hendrix LaPierre or a McMichael. I really want to see some McMichael, especially with the McNugget minute coming back.
Yeah. Well, they still have Backstrom and Oshie yet as well. Both
Oshie
are
is
kind
36.
of aging. Yep, and Backstrom's 35.
And Ovi's 37, even though he's an ageless wonder. He's 37.
He just had his birthday, so he's 38.
Oh, is he 38? Oh, man.
But yeah, and then like their defensive core, I mean, 3 over 30 there too. Carlson, Jensen, Van Riemsdyk. I mean, it's just and then Edmondson is 30 as well. And Darcy Kemper is over 30 as well.
It's really hard to call John Carlson a defenseman. Let me just be frank with that.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's what he's listed here as, but I get what you're saying there for sure.
He's not really a defenseman per se, is he? Huh?
No. And then don't forget we have Pacioretty out on IR right now too.
There are really 3 defensemen that I like in Washington, and that's saying something. There's only 3, right?
Yeah.
I like Alexiev. Hope he gets more of a chance this year in the top 6. Love me Martin Farivari. Great player, fun name. Really nice young kid. And I'm happy they got Rasmus. Like Rasmus Sandin is really going to get a chance with this team now.
Yeah.
Because he didn't really in Toronto. I don't know what it was with him in Toronto, whether it was him and Keefe button heads, or anything like that. But Rasmus is going to get a chance in that top 4. Probably next to Carlson, I would think.
Yeah, I would imagine.
They just don't have a lot of right-handed shots.
Right. Well, and then
because it's going to be Carlson, Jensen, Iorio, since Orlov's gone. I don't know.
They got Van Riemsdyk there yet too.
Oh yeah, they still have TVR. You're right. McElrath is fine depth.
Yeah, figure one that they pull up.
And then on the left side, bringing in Joel Edmondson, that's tough because Joel is just as beaten up as a lot of these guys.
Yeah.
It's hard with a guy like that that's going to, be out to start the year, right? But you're also counting on a lot of these veteran players to bring you back into the playoff picture.
But I could also see if, they have a couple injuries here and there because, as it happens, you just might not recover as well when you're older. And we might end up seeing some of them, like those rookies popping up and people getting brought up from the AHL a bit more.
From the Calder Cup winning Hershey Bears, right? Shout out to our buddy Richard.
So, yeah, they could actually be very well. That could be just a good part of their development, too. You never know.
It could. I just want to see those kids get more time because this team's so old. It's like, we'll talk about the Rangers later, and I want to see that from them too. But with, I can't even remember who's their coach right now. I don't know why. That's such a blank space with me right
The
now.
Rangers and this get rid of Gallant. It's gonna be Laviolette. Yeah,
Oh wait, he went to
you said
New
Rangers.
York. Yes,
Yeah, Peter Laviolette.
Lavi's in New York. Okay. Um, who's? Wait a minute. Then who's? Who's Washington's coach? Oh my god.
Spencer Carberry.
Oh, that's right. Carberry left
Yeah.
Toronto, and yes, yeah, yeah.
It's musical chairs.
Well, it's funny with those assistant coaches getting promotions, right? Like Pazzi with us, and all of this. It's really interesting. I'm pretty sure Jay and I brought it up that a lot of the coaches, probably 25 coaches, are either first years or only going into their second.
It's new generation flipping over. I'm not exactly sure how old you are, but the generation that came in
25.
right on.
I'm Austin Matthews draft class.
Gotcha. I was Jacob Voracek's class
Mm.
draft class. So like that era is really starting to, I'm 32, and that's about these ages where some of the, they really start to slow down a bit, and they're not like really bad. It's just like they're not like they're 32, not 22, and it's just
Right.
a difference in just you're playing with more experience, but less maybe like super reactive.
It's a faster game. You need to have speed in this game, and when you start breaking down when you're 31, 32 on up, that's hard, especially when you're a star player like an Ovechkin, because like Ovi's not the fastest skater,
Used to be amazingly fast,
but
amazingly
he
quick.
will still truck the hell out of you.
Yeah, you don't want to run into him. Absolutely not. He's got that old man muscle.
I still remember him accidentally bumping into he literally was just, going for a push off, and he bumps into this linesman and knocks him down, and it was really, really bad for this guy. Felt bad.
Well, and a bunch of those linesmen have played hockey themselves too. They're not afraid.
Well, no, but still, you don't, he didn't know Ovi was coming, and you don't want to he had his back turned, and it's like you're getting trucked by the grade 8. Come on. In net though, I do like I like Darcy Kemper as a goalie. Darcy and Charlie is going to be fine.
For how much more years? I mean, I guess we're specifically talking about this year, but they are 33 and 29.
Charlie being a right catching glove is fun. You never see a lot of left-handed guys, right?
Yeah, it really throw some teams off.
So having Charlie as a backup with a different handedness is interesting. Yeah. But then maybe, if Charlie goes down, you could bring up Hunter Shepard and see how that goes, right? Like Hunter being a Calder winning goalie is also one of the younger guys. It's him and Clay Stevenson in Hershey. Who knows? One of them gets the chance. I would say it's Hunter over Stevenson.
I would imagine as well. He's got the more experience. Even if he's slightly paid less. But between him and Stevenson, I could see both of them maybe getting a couple starts this year.
We'll see.
If needed.
But I still, aging core. Who knows how much Carberry is going to get out of this team? Really, as long as Ovi produces, I know the fans want to see playoff success, but they really are kind of fading out of that picture as, a team like the Devils is moving in.
Yeah. Well, okay, I guess one thing I'll bring up really quick is Stevenson is waivers exempt, so maybe we'll see him more because they don't have to risk anything sending him down.
Right. Yeah, and waivers, we're seeing a lot of moves on the waiver wire as things start.
We just picked up a goalie from waivers.
We just picked up a goalie from waivers, and we're gonna get to us right now.
Okay, let's do
I
it.
have, since I have him sixth, we're going into year 2 of the Johnny era. I got my Johnny jersey.
Nice.
I'm excited. Like
Me too.
I'm cautiously like I know it's probably not going to be playoffs,
Probably
which
not.
is for me that's like I'm fine with that.
But the chances aren't 0%.
So you're telling me there's a chance. You're
There's a
right.
chance.
I'm excited for Pascal Vincent after the fiasco that we had with the Babcock hire. I still don't know why Yarmo didn't just go with Pazzi to begin with, especially since players really like the guy.
Yeah. Well, we talked about that on our show a bit, and what we kind of came up with is that you know, oh my God, why did I just blank? So Larson was an internal hire.
Bad internal hire. Really bad.
Right. I mean, he was our power play coach, and our power play sucked.
Yeah.
I really think he was there for a reason, and it was not to get us cup ready.
Mm.
He was a placeholder until, I don't know why they weren't like looking throughout the whole time of his career. Like, it's not, no offense to him. I mean, sure, if he was coaching like high school or college, he'd be fine.
Fine in Springfield. Brought up a lot of guys that we know.
Fine in the HL too, but like he just wasn't the caliber of coach that we needed with the hand we were dealt.
A guy like Bruce Boudreau would have been perfect.
Yeah, working with those young kids and everything too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why. Oh, so it was an internal hire. So I think that they were going to try to do an external hire first, and then banking on that if shit hit the fan, Vincent was there, which he almost got hired by another team. Yet he had an interview, I believe.
Right, he had a Flames interview.
Yeah. So, luckily he didn't get that job. Sorry.
We would, but I mean, no. Well, like I would have been happy for him, but like,
it would have been sad for us. But yeah, that's very much, and I think at this point, it happened preseason, at least. So I don't think it's going to affect the team too much moving forward, especially since it happened before camp. Even
well, maybe the first month we're still gonna be thinking about it for at least the first month.
Yeah.
And it's just like stewing in it because that's just how we are as fans and as podcast media. Like we just stew in these kind of stories, right?
Right. Get some people going.
I'm really excited for Pazzi. I hope he does us good. I'm excited to see more of the experiments in systems. I heard something this morning that they're gonna try positionless people on off wings, and
Like
we've
zone?
got just calling everybody a forward kind of thing, like wingers on their offsides. We know the Patrick Laine at center experiment's still going on.
Right.
I kind of like this.
Me
I kind of really like this.
Did you see Jacob Voracek saying that he thinks Patrick's gonna be a great center? He posted on Twitter.
See that, yeah. And congrats to Jake for getting the Kladno job too.
Yeah, right. Good for him.
Good for him.
That's Jaromir Jagr's team.
Yes, it is, and he's still playing in unfortunate circumstances because they could go bankrupt if he doesn't. Anyway, forwards. The biggest odd man out in forward to me is Rosie.
Yeah,
biggest
second year in a row. No offense.
No offense.
Just not fitting right now.
And probably Bemmer too, because like who knows where Bemmer's going to fit in that mix after we've brought in Voronkov and Tex is back.
Yeah.
So there's more of a wing log jam this year than there really is at center, because we've got Boone Jenner. Patrick Laine is an option, which, is fun. Jack's an option. Cole's an option.
Correct.
Obviously, the elephant in the room being number 11, Adam Fantilli. Yeah. Very, very excited for this kid. I'm so pumped.
Yeah. Johnson's an option, though, too.
And KJ can play center as well.
And Foodie. We're really log jamming it up.
it's funny with Foodie because like last year we were all good for him coming out of camp, and then he was awful and we were off the train. And then we started warming back up to him as like a third line option. We see Tex as more of a winger long term, but Tex is also a center option.
True.
So
It's pretty young yet too.
It's such a weird mishmash logjam. So I guess the positionless forward is probably how it's gonna shape up. Because
as long as they can read each other and gel well, which I think they're really starting to, judging by watching the preseason. As long as they can read each other and gel well, I think that's an okay thing. I'm not opposed to it.
Johnny and Marshy have really good chemistry, especially after the end of last year. Very excited for Kirill to get a full year in the bigs. KJ is going to have a really, really fun sophomore year, I think, especially playing with Adam.
Fantilli.
If those two get to play together. Getting Danny back for the bottom six is great. Justin Danforth. Is going to be really fun. I'm just going down the list, man, really.
Well, you mentioned Bemstrom and Foodie, and those are the two the most questionable for me, but then they've also really showed up in preseason,
And so is Carson, and Carson's a big bottom six option.
Yeah, dude.
Love the Buckeye boy.
Yeah.
Love the Buckeye boy.
Yeah. It's nice to have those options. I think, we've been talking about this on our show too, like who's going to make the cut. And Bemstrom and Foodie definitely have a chance to at least be healthy scratches. I don't know if that would be good for their development because they're so kind of young. But
well, here's the thing with Ronkov, right? If he doesn't play a certain amount of games by like December 1st, I think, or something like that, he's going to go back to the K. And Yarmo worked so hard to get this kid to come over.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to see a lot of Dimitri this
year. He's a full-fledged professional man. He's not a kid coming out here.
No, because you heard about his bulk up, right? His listing went from 6'3", $180 something to 6'5", 240, and it's kid beefed up.
He's a little bit older than some of the other, guys. He is 23, so he's got a little bit of extra. Well, as we discussed, a little bit extra weight, a little bit of extra muscle. He's a fully developed adult.
He's got he's got that KHL experience too, and him and Kirill had very similar KHL numbers. I still think that Dimitri is going to be more of the playmaking, forechecking kind of forward, while Kirill is more of your flashy kid.
Hey, he got an assist already in preseason.
Hey, already better than what he did.
Yeah, so
22 goals and 4 assists. What a debut for Kirill last year. Wonder what he does for an encore, right? I'm excited for Johnny and Kirill to build some chemistry. I still think Boone's going to anchor that line to start things. It's going to be fun to have a nice young line with Adam and Kent together. Possibly line A. It's weird because all three of those guys, you're going to try them out. Obviously they're going to be centers at some point. It's going to be really weird seeing, because Adam is anchored in center. Yeah,
he doesn't really have the wing experience.
So what do you do with that? With do you go Boone? Do you go Patty, put Boone on the wing? Because we know that Boone can play both.
Yeah.
We've known that for a long time.
Or Tex.
Guy we haven't even mentioned, Cole.
Yeah. Well,
after stripping the 3 off, 4 still looks really weird as a forward number.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cole, does he center your third line? Does he start out in Cleveland?
He's not currently on the roster.
it's weird with Cole because his rookie year was fantastic. He had a really, really awful sophomore slump last year. To the point, he went months and months between goals, between anything.
Do you think there was some off-ice distraction with a certain Canadian pop star singer? Because seriously, especially when maybe you're a little bit younger, like some of the things that can happen off the ice. And actually, too, we talked about this on the show too. So many of these guys have like just gotten married or just had their first kid as well.
Boone's just getting married over the summer during the whole Babcock thing.
Yeah.
And so, I hate to keep bringing the Babcock thing up, but that's the biggest story that we've ever had.
Yeah, unfortunately. So it's certain things maybe could affect these kids outside the NHL. One other person we haven't really mentioned at all yet, Yegor Chinakhov.
Yegor and Robbie.
Yeah.
I think
Eric Robinson, yeah.
I'm very excited to see what Chinny can do this year because he had some struggles with injuries last year. Didn't get as many Jaeger bombs as we were hoping for. But Yarmo went off the board to get this kid for a reason. And we saw that when we got the first taste of him, because he is fast like lightning for a bigger kid.
Yeah. And he's young yet too.
He's brilliant
he's
shot.
22. Yeah, amazing shot, so fast. Can he just really put it together this year without being injured?
Robbie and Crowley are going to be the staples on that fourth line, especially while Matthew Olivier is out to start the year.
Is he? I thought he was back.
Is he back already? He was week to week last time we checked.
Oh, okay. I mean, he's off IR, but
broken leg. So it's going to be bad. It's going to be rough to miss Matthew for a bit.
Is Bean still out on IR?
I'm kind of out on Jake Bean, man.
He's a good option to bring up, but can he make the team? There's only 23 roster spots.
Yeah, and let's talk defense now really fast.
Sure.
Excuse me. It's that Oktoberfest kicking in. It's going to be great to hopefully have a full year of Z back.
Yes. The thing is, if they don't, we actually have some people that can at least stand up a little bit to that.
Zach Werenski is your guy.
Yeah.
He is your number one defenseman. And he's probably going to be paired with one of the newer additions.
Yeah. I think we're going to see Zian Severson maybe.
Severson would be a fun option. I kind of want to see because the two new guys are Ivan Provorov and Damon Severson. I don't know their handedness up. The CV is right and Ivan is left. Okay, so maybe Ivan CV second pair.
I could see that. Have the new guys and maybe putting Peak with Werenski.
Because we know Z can gel with Peak.
Mm-hmm. There's also Boki.
He's probably
I don't really see him being top line though.
Him and Bean are probably trade chips at this point, which is a shame for Boakfist because we did so much to get him in the Jones trade.
Yeah. So don't forget about Marcus Bjork. He's
Bjorky. Do like him. He showed a lot of promise last year when Z was out.
Yeah. We still have Svozil and Matejchuk at training camp too, and
Matejchuk Jiricek is the biggest hope that we see more. I don't know. I want to see him marinate a little bit more in Cleveland this year.
Get a little development, but I think we could expect to see him for at least a few games. Yeah, I mean the development there.
We only got 5 last year. I think we'll get a full 9-game tryout.
That'd be cool.
From him this year. That would be nice. Matejchuk is interesting because I don't know if he's got like the weird junior eligibility thing with the CHL agreement stuff. I
Oh,
know that there was that going on with Jordan Dume, right? Like the Shane Wright exemption kind of thing.
yeah.
That they could possibly have Dume play in the A for a bit.
But he like has to play either in the AHL or the other one. 'Cause if he plays in the QMJHL, is that what it was?
He's in the queue, yes.
Yeah. Then if he plays there, then he's not eligible to play for us like at all or something.
Something like that.
Like that's
This,
I
this
might be
whole
wrong.
this whole agreement is just so weird to me.
Convoluted. Yeah.
Yeah. I see the top six shaping up something like Z and Peak, Ivan and Damon, and then oh gosh, who do you put with Goody? Do you put
It
uh
was Blankenberg last year, but I'll
do you
talk about
put
that in a
do
bit.
you keep blanks there? Did Bernie ever accept a qualifying offer?
He's not,
Because
but
he's
he
still
has till December something. He's at
oh, that's right.
December
He has
14th or
until December to
16th.
get that. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
So he's still up. But that's the thing. Blanks and burning. How much with the people we just added, and
mhm.
then with those younger guys we just talked about, I love Blankenberg. I love the heart he plays with.
Oh yeah, love this kid
I
so
hate that he
much.
gets injured, but are we going to see him as much? I just, his one thing is that unlike most of the rest of the defense here, is he
Mhm.
does play both in left right side.
Yes,
So
and he plays all up and down the lineup.
yes, and he's such a leader on the ice. I mean, that's why he was captain at Michigan. Um, people can really
Huge.
feed off that energy.
He's got a lot of versatility. I mean, like the biggest play that Jay and I come back to is hitting Isaac Lundestrom last year, and
Yeah,
the look on KJ's face on the bench,
I
like
remember that.
you could feel it through the
Yeah,
screen, right?
yeah, I remember that cross ice shot or where his foot was like ankle was broken or something.
Oh yeah, when he
Yeah,
made the
from the
big empty
corner.
net goal.
Yeah, it's like one of the longest shots in the NHL you can make.
Oh man. Yeah, I wonder who plays with Goodbranson because it is going to be Goodbranson anchoring that third pair. You're paying
Yeah,
him too much money to not do anything
I
other
could
than that.
see I could see Peak being paired with them. I think they were a pair last year at times. Although they're both right, so that's where we start kind of.
But Pete can play left.
Yeah, I think we saw that too, and I think that might be an important thing for this year. Um,
Is
you know,
offhandedness playing a big factor? Yeah.
yeah,
Um, it's funny because like we make such a big deal about a right-handed shot defenseman is one of the most coveted assets you can have. But
right.
like, you look at TJ Brody, he's a left-handed shot. He can play the right side.
Yeah. It depends on like how your mindset is and if you're used to it with the experience you have as well, because you know that's what we see with Line.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's able to play both sides as well. I know it's offense, but still,
And
um,
center now.
yeah, and center now.
It's going to be very cool to
And
see that experiment continue.
one thing to bring up is Blanks is currently waivers exempt.
Okay. Mm,
So, fortunately,
mm,
that might also come into play because it's the easy send down. You won't. He's not going to get lost in the fray. Um,
right. And then
even
obviously for depth reasons, Matejchuk, Nazgo, Svo, Sweezy. There's plenty of
and
and Christensen, Coleman's. We're big Corson Coleman's guys on this show.
Georgievic home too, though. They're all lefties. Well, Kuhlman's isn't, but Nasko, Bjorkovic, Svozil, and Christensen are all left defenders and as well.
Well, at least that side's shored up then, right? Like,
Yeah. So, do you
and
want
then
to talk about the elephant in the room? Oh, sorry. Continue.
I was gonna say, yeah, let's do goalies really quick. Uh, and then we got to actually move because like timing.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
So Elvis
I
is
thought
going to be
Greaves looked
this.
great the other night.
Greaves looks awesome, but I don't see him like
He's not a second guy.
no. He's gonna start in Cleveland. He's going to be Cleveland's starter. Daniil is out for at least a couple of weeks, I would say.
I think he should probably rehab in Cleveland then as well, maybe, you know.
And that's why you pick up Spencer Martin on waivers.
Yeah. Nice pickup, I think.
Why do we keep taking guys from Vancouver, man? Like we've got like I remember taking friggin' what's his name off top. I can't. Oh, Gauncer.
Yeah, Brendan Gaunce.
Yeah, love Brendan Gaunce. He's another great depth option. But like, we got Gaunce straight from the waiver wire off of Vancouver.
Yeah.
And we did the same with Spencer Martin. And now it's just like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I feel like it's just like guys, obviously waivers is different, but it's like having your favorite trade partners, right?
Yeah. Well, they're not in our division. So it's, they don't immediately have to go play like the team you were just on, like say, Severson and Provorov.
Right.
But we've also had a history with trading with Chicago as well. I don't know, like, the Seth Jones trade. That's how we ended up getting
with multiple side trades with
like little things. But yeah, with Vancouver, I've noticed that here recently too, which is whatever. And then Calgary.
Obviously, well, that's different.
That's
a little different. It's
gotta piss someone off with that mention.
Well.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, Kyle, how does it feel? We love you, bud. But yeah, it's Elvis and Spencer probably to start the year.
Oh yeah, almost guaranteed in my opinion. Yeah. I mean, because we also, Aaron Dell is still on a professional tryout, but I don't see him. I see him being a backup for Greaves.
I don't want to see him here at all, frankly.
Yeah.
I know Lalonde is going back to juniors.
Yeah.
So like that's
fine. Since we picked up Spencer Martin, I don't think that you're right. Maybe Aaron Dell does not have a place here. Without Spencer Martin, having at least someone with some experience to at least be there, like how we had, Hutchinson last year. At least be there. At least there's somebody. Like
I guess, but I really don't like that somebody being Aaron Dell. If that makes sense.
No, that's entirely fair.
Because for one, he's not good.
He's old.
He's old, and he's friggin' just the stuff he pulls.
Yeah, just being completely out of position at times. Maybe Backstrom could help. With that, the new goalie coach and everything. But yeah,
I just remember
he's doing that at 34. He's not going to stop doing that.
Because wasn't that was that Batherson or who was that? That he just clipped a couple of years ago when he was a Sabre. I can't remember exactly who it was, but like that whole incident where he just clips him with his elbow and completely just took him right on out. That's not a guy that I want in this org.
Yeah, that's sloppy. And this team does not have an amazing power play, or hasn't for a while now, so we can't just risk that kind of shit.
Who knows? Maybe Recchi rectifies that. He didn't really do that in Jersey, but
yeah,
who knows what Recchi's even going to do? I think he's going to be more the power play coach.
Yeah, that's what I believe I understood. Forward coach, actually.
Okay, and then Bowler probably with defense and PKs, right?
Probably, yeah.
I mean, he's Jared Bull. Like, I would hope I hope he's not touching anything related to offense.
Right. Oh, geez.
But yeah, I still think like 6th is fine as long as the kids do well.
Yeah.
As long as the kids do well, we're not really in the basement. There's at least a little bit of improvement. Because 59 points, man.
Oh my God.
That's such a bottoming out.
Well, and like you said, hopefully the kids do well. I'm more looking at individual stats, I think, this year than I am team stats.
Yeah.
just to see like who's doing well, who's keeping up, who's developing right.
You need to see improvement from Elvis. You
It's
need to see Elvis be the guy.
There's no question about that.
And that's the biggest improvement we really need to see.
He can be. He's been that guy before, but there's been so many things. Once again, maybe some things that happen off the ice that have affected him throughout the past few years. That I think, with the correct sports psychiatrist and the correct amount of trainers, he can pull through it. But we have to see it.
Well, it's funny because with him last year, obviously, like, not only was he playing poorly, but he still had a lot of grief going on and all the threats from other fan bases and all the stuff going on with that,
as well as injury.
It was too much. It was too much noise.
I think he needed this off season.
I think a lot of us did.
No,
but who knows? Like, year 2 into the Johnny era, should be a lot better. I hope to see probably somewhere around 70 to 85 points. I'm gonna give enough margin for error to see a big enough gap with that, because where we were at 2 years ago is probably where we should be this year.
Yeah, I could see around the 80-point line, and I think that would get us definitely not in last place.
How you doing? How's your Bears doing at this point?
Don't ask me about that, okay?
Don't ask you about
Don't
the
even
Bears?
dare.
About Da Bears? No?
No,
Don't
let me
even
tell you
dare?
something. No, let me not tell you something. I'll go on a rant.
I mean, we know that, like, we just passed another week. We're going into another week of football, and I'm running off the heels of a really tense Monday night game, and it's just like, ugh.
Super Bowl revenge, eh?
Oh yeah, big time. Oh man, we're back with another big week of football, and DraftKings is keeping us all in on the NFL action with great offers every single game day. New customers, all you got to do is bet $5 and you get $200 instantly in bonus bets. All you got to do is sign up, and you got to use our promo code. That's the big thing. Use our promo code. It's a big thing for us, especially this month. You just throw down the 5 on any of the week's matchups, and you'll walk away with a big payday right away. $200, nothing to sniff at, right?
Yeah, are you kidding me? It's big in gambling.
Especially, yeah, exactly.
Especially the way I bet.
With the way, yeah. And again, new customers, all you gotta do is sign up with our promo code. That's THPN, and everybody can get in on some fun stuff this September. All customers take advantage of 2 new offers every game day this month of September.
Yeah.
Very cool stuff from our friends at DraftKings. So all you got to do, just enjoy some football, put a bet down. Football's more fun when you're in on the action. So download the app now and sign up with the code THPN. New customers can bet just $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, with code THPN. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, licensed partner Golden Nugget, Lake Charles in Louisiana. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms for eligibility, terms, and responsible gambling resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Issuance, eligibility, and deposit restrictions apply. Thanks, everybody. Let's start on the island really quick. The Sorokin Show.
Yes.
That's really the biggest name him and Barzy, like that's it.
Yep.
Because
Bo Horvat.
oh yeah, Bo.
They got some big paid guys in Anders Lee, Nelson, Peugeot, Palmieri, right? But
I
Cal
don't know.
Clutterbuck's still there.
Yeah, Cal. Like they have their identity line is still basically intact, right?
Yes.
With Martin and Clutterbuck and Cizikas, those guys aren't changing a damn thing.
Yeah. And I still have Pollock, Pellich, and
the
on
best
defense.
the best pairing ever. The best name pairing ever.
I know, right? It's like Pollock and Pellich. Like that's a good one.
You can't get any better than that.
And then their backup goaltender, Varlamov, is also pretty decent.
But Varley's on a really bad extension. Like that's a love term for a guy that age.
Yeah, he's 35. Yeah. I mean, Sorokin has 9 years. He's 28.
But
he's also amazing.
You also know he's your guy, right?
Yeah.
Like, why not just give Varley like a 1 or a 2 year deal and then bring up Skark when he's ready?
Yeah.
But you also don't hear anything about Bridgeport. Like, Lou keeps everything so close to the vest that like we don't know at all whether Zach Parise is going to play or not. You know, if he doesn't play on the island, he's not playing, and he's probably retiring.
Yeah.
They're another team that's like more on the older side of things, but they're kind of rectifying that with guys like Romanov. Dobson's great, love him. They have the other Sebastian Aho.
The great value Sebastian Aho.
Oops.
I said that out loud. Oops. They have Oliver Wahlstrom too as a forward, young guy there. But
needs to show something because he's a great goal scorer. But in this New York system, that Barry Trotz implemented, that is now inherited.
Yeah.
You can't see what his full potential is. Him and Barzal, you really can't see that under the system that they have. Because it's very, very defensively structured. It's very much, all the forwards have to back check.
Yes.
Like if
their game is not as much about maybe speed and technicality as it is positioning and experience, in my opinion. They're all older. I mean, the 3 youngest guys or 4 youngest guys are Wahlstrom, Romanov, Dobson, and Boltic. And they're all 23 and 22.
Everybody else is at least 25, 26.
Yes.
Which, that's fine. That's prime age, but you got a lot of vets on that team. You got a lot of anchor contracts on that team. Barzal's going to become an anchor in his own right. As much as, he's as much as he's a great forward for him, that contract, you don't pay that much money for a guy like that.
8 years.
In a system where he can't realize what he is.
4-ish. Yeah.
And maybe that's just a Lou thing now that he's, 80.
Yeah, no shit. And I don't really see them being worse than last year, but I don't really see them being better either.
But you paid a lot of long-term for Bo Horvat in a contract year where he's not going to replicate that in your system at all. Contract
will be up when he's 36 years old too.
Lambert, like I said, he inherited a Barry Trotz system. And that's, as much as he can try to get more offense out of that, not much he can.
Not a whole lot.
And then the other, big contract that's kind of an anchor. I don't understand this signing at all. The Engvall contract, man. As much as I love Pierre Engvall.
It's a 7-year contract.
7-year deal.
Why?
I don't know. I love the guy as a player, as a bottom 6, speedy. Like, he's the fastest giraffe on ice. Love the guy. Doesn't do much. And to pay him for 7 years like that? I don't know, man.
He just doesn't quite have the stats to back it up. He just doesn't.
Yeah, no, he's
I mean, he only played 18 games for the Islanders last year. He played a total of like 76.
such a middle of the road team. And I think they're
17
going
goals, 13 assists last year.
obviously they can surprise us like they have before if they make it, if they make the dance, but they really won't be. I don't know if they're going to be doing much in the dance, even though they're like the definition of playoff hockey.
Right. No, and like they didn't do horrible last year, but they didn't do great. That's the thing. You really, I mean, and then and their core is pretty much signed for the next 8 years. So are they going to be doomed to that? As the rest of the division grows around them, are they just going to be just moving down the list a little bit here and there? That's kind of what I'm wondering.
That's why I have them. That's why I have them fifth, because it's just like right in that mushy middle spot, right?
Yeah.
Where it's just like you don't really know, and I think they're going to be in the bubble, but like really not getting there.
Well, and even like the other non-roster kids, I mean, how like they're a bunch of how we have 18, 19 or 20-year-olds around. There are non-roster guys that they have yet to sign here as well, or have yet to move up. They're not all that young either. Like there are some 20, 21-year-old, but like they're all like 22, 23. Like those are the people going to be bringing up from their AHL team, and
you traded away two guys that could be key to add more points when you traded for Bo.
Yeah.
When you traded Bavillier and Ratu.
Yeah, why would you do
like some big
I guess
pieces
like
that
they must have really been trying for that playoff. They just
I guess
short.
And then now it just looks like I don't know.
Yeah.
You want to travel back to Pennsylvania for a minute?
Let's do it.
Going to Pittsburgh. Sid, Gino, it's a new era with Kyle Dubas coming in.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to make the playoffs when you still have Sid, Gino, and Chris.
Yep. They missed for the first time in 16 years.
And they've been a trio for, this will be 18? A long time to have those three guys.
Very long time. While they're still amazing quality players, much like Ovechkin, they just aren't.
Old.
Yeah.
Very old.
36, Sydney, 37, Evgeny. Jeff Carter's 38.
It's going to be 39, bro.
Wow. Lars Eller is going to be 34.
Bringing in Lars, like I like that move, but
Carlson's 33. I mean,
yeah, the EK move, big splash for Kyle.
Good, it's a good job, good move. Kyle. He's still old. Letang's 36 as well too. They also added Ryan Graves.
And that's a big contract for Ryan Graves.
6 years, 4.5. That's ridiculous.
There are guys that I enjoy in this system. If Alex Nylander gets a chance, if Andreas Janssen, can land a spot, like those two guys, love me some Jake Gensel. Like Jay and I are huge Jake Gensel guys.
Right on. That's funny. Are you both? Is it because of your names are Jake?
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh, okay.
I like bringing in Nola Chari too. That was a great move.
Riley Smith too.
Riley Smith is going to be a really fun move.
Yeah.
Really, really fun move.
All these dudes are over 30.
Yeah. Very experienced group.
Yeah.
And Mike Sullivan is not a spring chicken himself in terms of how long he's been there as the coach, but he knows how these guys tick.
Yeah, he knows them in and out. He knows them better than any other possible coach could ever possibly know them. I think moving on to a different coach would be a huge mistake by them right now.
They made a lot of bottom six moves in terms of the interchanging, bringing players in and out, like Long Beach native Matt Nieto coming in. Love me some Matt Nieto. Drew O'Connor got an extension, I think, which is fine. Sammy Polan is probably going to get more of a chance. Love me some Ricard Raquel and Brian Rust. Those are two guys for your top six that are going to be great. They brought back Radim Zorna. This is a Hornet. Going to be fun. So, like, I love individual players on this team. And how can you not?
Right.
Even as a rival fan, how can you not enjoy
There's so much history in this league too?
The back-to-back cups, just the way they play the game.
Yeah, it's so you can just tell like the experience when they step foot on the ice. You can just feel it. You can just. Has anyone ever gelled as well as Crosby, Malkin, and Letang?
No, I don't think so.
I just don't think so.
Probably other than what, the Gretzky Oilers?
Yeah, well, and that was in part, dude. Yeah, no, that's about like as close as I think. I mean, because they've been playing together for 18 years now.
Gretz, Mass, and Curry played for how long?
Yeah, and that was huge. So hopefully, Eric Carlson can fit into this well. That's a massive contract for him.
Carlson, Carlson, Letang. And I feel like I don't know. Do you make that a top pair? Do you put Letang on the second pair?
Well, they're both right Ds, so I could see like I could see Carlson and Graves going together since they're like the new guys, but then I could also possibly see
that could be fun.
Letang Pedersen.
Pedersen, I'm very high on Marcus Pedersen.
Yeah.
Not as high on a guy like Ty Smith for that third pair. Chad Roedel's been there forever. So he's your staple on the third pair. P.O. Joseph, big option, and I'm a big P.O. Joseph guy.
Yeah. Young yet too.
And you know who else I'm a huge guy for? Another Bowling Green product. Mark Friedman. Love me some Marky Mark. I got to see him at school a couple of years.
Oh, did you go to BG?
I did go to BG. That's why I talked up Sean Walker so much.
Gotcha. Okay, that's cool.
And Freedsy.
Where both my sisters graduated from.
Oh, nice. Roll along.
So, yeah. I visited a few times. Nice school. And once again too, they're like lower, like they're like AHL team, and people below them are all fairly they're older. So
I don't know how much that depth is gonna help. You really got to just count on these guys being healthy because Sid and Gino last year, this is the first time in how many years, maybe ever, that they were both healthy for all 82 games. You don't see that because one of them is always out long term.
Yes. And it's been that way for a while now, for a few years. I mean, before then it was never a big deal, I don't think. But yeah, I mean, as you get older too, I mean, maybe you don't recover quite as well.
And then can Chris bounce back after having a second stroke and losing his dad?
Yeah.
We know he won the Masterton for it, but still, like, how is that going to affect him this year?
Yeah. And he is also not getting any younger.
And Carlson isn't either, even though he just had a 100-point Norris winning season. I don't see him replicating that at all.
Yeah.
Good for maybe 70, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
Good for maybe 70. Who knows? And then their goalies, they're running it back with Tristan. I don't know how smart that is.
They just re-signed him to 5 years, 5.375, I think.
I don't know how smart that is considering how iffy he is in the playoffs.
And 5.3, almost 5.4, that might make him a bit harder to move as well. In the event that they figure something else out.
That's an
Elvis. But what else is there for them?
Well, Alex Nedeljkovic is their new backup.
Right. He's solid.
And then they brought in Hellberg as a solid third option for Wilkes-Barre. And Hellberg, like, he became like a fun story over the last couple of seasons, but solid third goalie. You know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
who knows?
definitely. Yeah, Gautier and Blomqvist, but I don't really see them moving up too much this year with Hellberg being there.
And it's Jari and Ned. Like Ned, can he make it work this year in Pittsburgh as much as he didn't in Detroit? Because we talked the Atlantic last show and Detroit, we still both, I'm pretty sure all three of us actually had him at 7. So I don't know, bro.
I was on the Iser plan, and then all of a sudden it just blew up in his face. It seemed
The Iser plan has shifted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? I can see them making like a 1 wild card, unless the East shifts. Like if the Eastern Conference is going to be 4 teams out of each division, Pittsburgh's 4. Pittsburgh is just going to get in there. You know, that's how I see it.
I think I could see them squeezing in just barely, but they're gonna have to be on their A game. They're gonna have to stay healthy.
Yes,
I think that's a huge part of it.
Yes,
we learned that last year.
I mean, yeah, we learned that last year with Washington too, right?
Yeah.
It's just health when you get older. Manhattan, the Rangers, Laviolette's new team, apparently.
Yeah.
You got bread. You got a new era of bread. You got some freshly sliced bread. Have you seen that picture, bro?
Yes.
Like,
oh my god. Needs a little more lettuce on that sandwich, you know. I don't know. He's still their highest paid player by far. Still, he's got 3 years left on his contract. Of course, they have Zibanejad, Kreider.
Zibanejad and Kreider, like that's fine. That's a great 1A, 1B kind of line, right?
What do you think about that Trocheck contract? 6 years UFA at 30 years old. That's 5.62.
I like it. I kind of like it.
Yeah, 6 years.
I just don't know how much it's going to age, right? Because it's until he's 30, and that's fine, right? Or was
he just turned 30? Yeah,
he just turned 30. Okay,
yeah.
So
we're there a little bit.
That's fine. Like he's a solid middle 6 guy, right? And Tro is probably going to be playing with newly acquired Blake Wheeler. And my biggest,
they have a solid team. They have a solid lineup.
They have solid forwards. Very good forwards. Jimmy Vesey in their bottom 6. It seems like he comes in and out of that lineup almost every year. My big question, because Barclay Goodrow is such an anchor of a contract, right? Does that kid line finally come into their own? You need to see it from Laugh and Kako. We've already seen it from Filipino. Like we've seen that kid can play, and he can play so well.
Got Lafreniere in there and Shuttle.
You need more offense from Kako, and you need more defense from Laugh, and you need to see this come together. But my big thing there is, Lavi doesn't like playing kids.
Yeah, well, and looking at their current roster, like what's listed on Cap Friendly, there's only Lafreniere is the only one who's under 24 for the forwards, and they got Braden Schneider, Zachary Jones, and Keandre Miller are all under 25 for defense. So there's not that many who are that young, but that could maybe affect their development too.
They also just, they know how to put it together behind a guy like you, Worcester.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like it's Igor's show, and you bring in Jonathan Quick now.
Blue Jackets legend.
Jackets legend Johnny Quick.
Let's go.
Undefeated. Oh, love it.
Oh, shit.
Jonathan Quick is probably more than likely the backup option. 20 games is fine.
Yeah, good luck to him.
Good luck to him. They got spicy pork and broccoli as their third option too in Hartford. Louis Domingue. Fun stuff. But yeah, like the big question is the kid line on offense. Plus, Bread's also really not performing like an 11.6 million forward quite yet. You're paying him all this money.
Did you know he was 31? I didn't know he was that old.
He's already oh my god, because he was like what? He was already like my age when he won the Calder. He was old when he won the Calder by Calder Trophy winner standards.
Right, yeah. So it's
it's
interesting that I didn't click in my mind that he is that old because like I mean he was on the Blue Jackets at one point and
right. It's just like it's weird. Like Jay always likes to say time is a flat circle, right? It really is, isn't it?
It never stops for anything.
But like, yeah, I like they're going to be a very defensive heavy team as much as I do like the firepower at forward. I feel like they're going to win a lot of close games.
Yeah. Their defense is awesome. They brought Adam Fox back, of course. I mean, he's got 6 years.
Oh yeah. Adam and Keandre are your top two guys. And Ryan Lindgren is a fantastic shutdown guy.
Yeah.
Those being your top three, it's perfect. Like it's amazing. Braden Schneider, like you mentioned earlier, and then Trouba. Trouba as much. He's very divisive.
Yeah. I feel like I like the dude, but I mean, has he really stepped up and really kept like to keep the C?
I was gonna say, yeah, he's your captain.
I mean, your captain doesn't have to be your best player, but
no. I mean, like Boone's in no way our best player, but he's the heart and soul of the team. Like we know that he is like he plays Blue Jackets hockey.
He had the most goals on our team last year.
Yeah, we'll just throw that season away. Can we do that? Can we just kind of other than getting at him, can we just kind of throw it away?
Yeah. We'll just mark that one out of the record books.
Mark it a mulligan. Mark it a mulligan. Yeah, it's I like those three, right? When it comes to Fox and Lindgren and Keandre, because Keandre doesn't get as much love as he should.
No,
at all.
And neither does athlete.
And neither does Lindgren really in terms of just being a defensive defenseman. Fantastic shutdown guy. But then you have Connor Mackey that can come in. You got Schneider is going to get a bigger role probably. Mac Hollowell brought in. You got decent options, and then Ben Harper.
I was gonna say, isn't Ben Harper around somewhere too?
He is.
Is he not? I think he performed better in that preseason game the other night than did in our preseason game last year. I was like 4 rows back. I gotten some tickets. For the preseason game. Like I won some, so I was like really close, like closer than normal, and I was like 30 feet from him getting knocked out cold. It's rough to see.
Just thumped.
Yeah.
Oh man, I do
made me
still
sick to my stomach, but
I do still think that Igor can carry them to a third spot.
Yeah,
because like they have plenty.
100%.
They have plenty at forward to make that happen.
And the defense helps out.
As much as like the bottom three on D is like kind of your bottom pick. It's like your bottom pair is your bottom pair. You can you really got to rely on your top 4 guys more than anything, right?
Yeah.
And they absolutely will be in New York. Going back down South Carolina, where the good Sebastian Aho plays, or the name brand Sebastian Aho is. Love these guys. love, love, love these guys. Shout out to our boys and you know, our ladies or gentlemen,
Lady.
all of that, with Kane Sessions and with
Caniac Report.
Caniac Report and the Surge Cast and all those great Kane shows we got. A lot of really good work in our Kane's part of the network, right?
Yeah.
Where do we even start, man?
Well, we don't. We could start with like who's the worst, maybe. People that we're surprised to even see. They still have 5 PTOs out on people.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know how to say this name entirely. Jaden Halbgavox. Well, it's Gavox, but like Gavox would be like maybe like a German or Scandinavian. Nick Shore, that one's easier. Zach Ashton Reese, Nathan Bollier.
Couple former Leafs there. I like that.
Yeah, Kiefer Bellows. So like there's some okay professional tryouts there. Who yeah. So Svechnikov is currently on IR.
Poor Svetch already.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what happened, but
that stinks, man. That's
but then they have like non-roster currently. They have like Blake Murray on non-roster, Ryan Suzuki.
Suzuki's going to be a really nice addition eventually.
Yeah.
And I say eventually because, like, I mean, when you look at the forwards leading off, obviously Aho, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he's your guy, and Kokiniemi was a lot better last year when he started getting more ice time.
Yeah.
Kokiniemi, it's very funny now that they have both of those guys.
It's a very big contract for someone his age too. He's 23 years old and got a 7-year UFA contract. So, that's at
good.
4.5.
Hopefully he'll be like the 2C that they need, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, especially since Steps retired.
Yeah.
And like
I feel like they're stacked here. I mean, Bunting.
They are stacked.
Like
getting Michael Bunting is a great move.
Yeah, great ad.
Great move. Jack Drury in your bottom 6. Jesper Fost is still there. He's really good. Seth Jarvis is another one that I'm really interested in terms of just the younger, like they've kind of got a logjam at center going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like we know Natchez plays more wing, but he's listed as a center.
Yeah.
And obviously Jordan Stahl is still there, your captain, good third line guy. Probably going to be playing a lot more fourth, I think, this year. With how good these young kids are, I just think that, I think Jordan's fine with playing a little bit more limited ice this year.
Well, and for how good this team is, their prospect pool and their young kids are still amazing.
Yeah.
There's some of those teams where we look at, like we were talking about earlier, where like Penguins, they're, younger guys are not that young. They've had chances to get to the NHL by now, and they're not there now. And so, like, they might be an okay, like, call up or step up, but like, this team actually has those guys that can call up, and they're going to be quality
players. Yes. Playoff legend Stefan Nason. I don't know.
I mean, him and Brendan Lemieux are still there. I mean,
that's weird that Brendan Lemieux is there.
Yeah.
Really weird to me.
And then defense too, man.
And Turbo can't go without shouting out Teuvo Teravainen.
Oh yeah,
that guy is phenomenal. He's no longer a kid. I mean, he was born in '94.
They have a bunch of contracts up at the end of this year.
Oh yeah,
a lot. So they might be really.
This needs to be the go. This needs to be a go for it.
All in this year, I think.
Defense, I like. Burnsy's fine. Burnsy's still Burnsy. Yeah. And him and Slavin are going to be a really nice first pair. That's your go pair. That is your all offense on defense. Well, no, because Slavin is Slavin. Slavin does everything well. Yeah. Jalen Chatfield, really, really fun story. Like him a lot.
Caleb Jones is in there.
Dylan Coughlin. I forgot that they got Caleb Jones.
I know, right? From the Hawks.
This is definitely the like, oh, you're there season, right?
Right.
Dmitry
think-
Orlov, their big get. He's gonna look really, really nice in a Canes jersey.
Yeah.
Orlov and Shea can wreak some havoc, I think.
I like Brady Shea a lot.
Love Brady Shea. Orlov and Shea are going to be really good. And the return of Tony D.
D'Angelo, yeah.
There are guys that just play, they play multiple places, but they always play their best with one org. Tony D and the Canes, man, it just clicks. And I think part of that is Brindamore is able to silence a lot of his behavioral issues and just let him go out there and play and really like discipline him when he needs it. Rod Brindamore is like the perfect coach for a Tony D'Angelo. Let's be frank.
I think he's a perfect coach for the Canes in general.
He is, man. Like how does he not have multiple Jack Adams at this point? Just under there.
I have no clue because I think he's going to go down as probably one of the greats.
Granted, I mean, Jim Montgomery was a fantastic winner last year. Like, don't get me wrong. The Bees were fantastic. The Bees were perfect. But, like, Brindamore needs more love.
Yeah.
He could still, honestly, he could slot in on that fourth line, no problem, too. I wouldn't be surprised if he's wearing pads and a jersey under the suit, just like...
I know, right? Just in case.
Just like Superman, right?
You could just step out at any moment, yeah.
And then they're running it back in net, bro. They got Freddie, they got Ante. And they're gonna,
right. And Kochetkov.
And Kochetkov. All three. They're gonna run it back and they're gonna be fine.
And that's all they need. They knock on wood that they don't need.
I know both of the other two are getting older.
They only have one other goalie, Yanov Perret.
And I don't know a lot about him. I'd have to ask.
I have no clue about him. He's 22.
Have to ask my friend Timbo or any of our friends on the network about him.
Yeah.
But who knows? Like, you really just need those three because if, we know Freddie and Ante can and will get hurt.
Yeah.
At some point. But Piotr, like, we know that he's a very quality young goalie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're going to be fine. Second place, and this, in terms of their postseason success, you need a run.
Yeah, I think that come trade deadline, I think we're gonna see possibly some movement here, of possibly quality players. But I think that they're gonna have to, not have to, but I think they're gonna pick up some pieces to go for it to really give it everything they have.
You need the run because after losing in conference finals for 3 straight appearances,
yeah,
or is it 4? Like, it's a long streak, man. They've lost at least 3 or 4 conference finals when they've made it in a row.
Yeah,
they need a cup run. They just need it. Like,
I mean, I thought last year could have been their year, but I mean, they haven't done much to make themselves any worse. But I think they've done some things to possibly make them even better.
Panthers had Kachuk magic, man.
The Panthers, I don't know how they got where they were last year. I don't understand how any of that happened, but
it was magical. It was crazy.
It was just it came out of nowhere. I think that the momentum they got by beating the Bruins is what helped propel them that far.
Big time. The Canes just need it.
Yeah.
They need that kind of magic, right? They need it all to come together at the right time.
Yeah.
Because they have all the pieces that they need to do it. They just need to do it.
They just need, so they have the entire skill and everything. What they just need is the tiniest, littlest bit of luck.
It's really
all skill in the world. Yeah. But it's hockey. Anyone can win any night.
Oh, yeah. We're going to end it at the top with, like, Jay and I, his girlfriend's a Devils fan. We love chatting it
That's
up with
unfortunate.
Neil. Shout out to Mel, and shout out to Neil. Shout out to all of our Devils fam. Alex, who's now on the network with us with Devils on the Rush.
Uncle Puckers. You met them at all?
No,
Okay.
haven't yet, but we love the Devils. As much as we love the Blue Jackets, we really, really love the Devils. These guys are just they
Cream of
are
crop right here. I mean, they have
yeah,
they're good ages, they're good players, they're good, mostly good contracts.
so young. They're still like fourth youngest in the league, man.
26.6 is their average age of their forwards, 27 is the average age of the defenseman.
They're so young and they're so good.
Yeah.
Where do you even
It's
start?
scary.
It's got to start. It's got to start with Jack, Nico, and Jesper, right?
Timo Myers.
Timo Meyer, switching back to 28. Huge pickup.
Yeah.
That's a huge, I keep saying huge, but it's huge.
Dude. How do you even choose a top line out of Meyer, Hughes, Jesper Bratt, Nico Hirscher, Palat, Toffoli? Like, dude.
Toffoli is a gigantic ad.
Huge.
And don't get me wrong, like Yegor Sharangovich, we love that kid. Yeah. He's gonna do great in Calgary.
Yeah.
Like it's Tyler Toffoli.
Right? I know, right? Like when I heard they picked that up, I was like, well, there's the first place team this year. Not even just because of him, but because of like everything else around him yet too. Like
I've seen stuff that Alexander Holtz is finally putting it together too. Like, man, and Dawson Mercer. That's a kid that I just
look out for that guy for sure. I mean,
that's such a loaded top six.
It's a lot of that's just unfair.
How do you put it together?
Then you still have McLeod, Lazar, and Foote. I mean, the other guys are still quality guys too. Like,
Eric Halla found a home.
Yeah.
Eric Halla found a home
for 3 more years too. It's not a bad contract at all. I don't think 3 years, 3.15 at 32 years old.
You still have Nate Bastian, and you have Curtis Lazar is a great bottom sixer. Thomas Nosek is going to be a perfect fourth line center. When you're able to bump Andre Palat down to your third line,
oh my god.
And they brought in Chris Tierney too, and it's just like there's so many great forwards on this
and
team.
We haven't even touched their defense yet, which is also ridiculous.
And we need to wrap this up quick because the national thing is gonna blare any minute now.
Oh yeah, shoot, I forgot about that.
We need to go. Defense, it's led by Dougie and Siegenthaler. That's your big top pair.
You got Hughes too, Luke Hughes.
You finally bring Luke Hughes into the fold. And do you pair him with Johnny? Do you pair him with John Marino? I think you do.
I don't think that would be a bad pairing at all.
Go ahead and round that top four out.
Siegenthaler.
Well, Siegenthaler and Hammy Siegenthaler and Dougie is your top pair. Right. That's your top pair. I do think you go with Luke with Marino. I think you give the kid a shot.
There's a lot of other people that would be great. If that doesn't work out well, you can move it to the third line, then you still have,
Colin Miller and Brendan Smith, who can also play forward if he needs to. Tyler Wotherspoon isn't great in their system. Simon Nemec is still waiting in the wings, man.
Oh my god. That's kind of forgot about Nemec too.
It's unfair. And Kevin Ball. You got really good third pairing options, but that top four,
Foote too.
That top four, unstoppable,
unfair,
unreal. And then we're gonna end with the goaltending. They're gonna run it back with Akira and Vitek now that now that McKenzie's gone, which I think McKenzie did need a change of scenery.
Yeah.
I think again, it's feel bad for Blackwood because it's like he could never put it together.
Yeah, So I guess for backups then too, like because like I think those are great options. I think that Vanacek needs to try to remain as healthy as possible for as long as possible.
Good 1A 1B tandem though with those two.
Yeah. No, and they
And
still got they have a Keith Kincaid.
welcome back, Keith.
Yeah, and then Eric Kallgren.
Shelgren,
Shelgren.
he's
Oh
going
yeah, I
back.
forgot about the whole Swedish name thing.
Shelgren is on waivers to go to the minors, but I
Mhm.
don't know. Like, I don't know if he gets a recall. Like, I don't know if he gets claimed because he's a decent. Like we saw it in Toronto, he can put up solid numbers.
Yeah.
So who knows if it's probably going to be
Yeah.
him and Dawes
I was gonna say Nico
in the-
Dawes yet too.
in the minors, and Dawes has shown flashes when he's been up. So it's just they're loaded.
Yeah,
They're just so loaded.
it's a stacked team. If they don't win this division this year, they need to clean house or something. I don't know. I don't understand.
Well,
If-
Tommy Fitz is just a perfect GM right now. Like, no wonder he won GM of the year, right?
Yeah, yeah. They still got Lindy Ruff.
And they still got Lindy Ruff, and they have Andrew Brunette. No, wait, Brunette's gone. Travis Green's waiting in the wings now instead. And I would love for Travis Green to get another head coaching gig. Right?
Yeah. I'd be
Mm.
interested in seeing that.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it's the Devs division to lose, bro.
Yeah.
So what I want you to do really quick, now that we really got it all tied together and not anymore, we talked about everybody, we're fine. Hurry up, plug your stuff, and then we got to get out of here.
Hell yeah. Hey, go follow us. We're the Brew Jackets. You can find us on Twitter at Brew Jackets pod. You can also find me on Twitter at Hefty Duck. You can also find me. That's about it. Check us out on Facebook. Go follow our YouTube. We're trying to really push our YouTube this year. Most of our fan base is on Twitter, but check us out on YouTube. We are just Brew Jackets on YouTube as well. Yeah, I appreciate you having me here and everything.
Yeah,
and,
man.
real fun.
You've been fun. Obviously, like we miss Jay. He's
Yeah.
out having fun in Florida. But
Man, lucky him.
but you're really, really fun to have on to fill in, and nice chill Metro preview this year. You bring a lot of nice chill energy that we
I've been told
that
that.
Jay has that too. Like you could probably tell, but you just bring way more. And that we're probably going to need some of that later in this year.
Hell yeah. Well, hey,
Another
Whenever-
crossover soon, right?
yeah, if you want to have me back, Yeah, I'll be happy to slide in here one of these days.
Go follow Brew Jackets, and obviously go follow us. We're Jake Jackets Pod, JJ Jackets Pod on Twitter, on the YouTube space, on whatever. So go see us for the Metro, and we're wrapping up previews with the Central coming up. So we'll see y'all later.
Jake Jackets, a podcast for fifth liners and all puckheads around. Follow the guys on Twitter at Snake Garinger, GARRINGER, and at by J Ashdown. And subscribe on YouTube or wherever you listen. March on.